2016. It was the perfect place to die. West Grand Avenue in San Pablo in Oakland, California. Rowdy, cacophonous. Charles rolled by in his wheelchair. He passed hordes of people, withered people, people ducking in and out of liquor stores in the St. Vincent de Paul, people waiting for buses, people pushing shopping carts, their shoulders tense, their eyes hesitant and scanning their surroundings, trying to look for life's next sucker punch or kick to the ribs. They were prisoners in their own suffering, all condemned to shuffle down the streets, zombie-like, their brains shellacked and lacquered with years of illegal chemicals and alcohol, with a tangle of freeways casting shadows over their tent encampments as commuter cars raced overhead and escaped. They were hopeless, so they could be trusted, not the drivers. The streets were cluttered with them. Charles watched from the sidewalk, noting their misery, their impotent attempts at control. They looked like they were all going somewhere that they didn't want to go. The strain of such and their endurance of it providing ample reason for detesting even the slightest error or spotted negligence from those around them. The blonde woman in the Mazda 6 rolled her eyes at the ball-capped and sunburnt fat man driving the rusted Ford F-150. The dreadlock guy in the Buick Century with the spinner rims glared at the bespectacled bearded lad with the white earpiece in the Toyota Prius. Seeing them, Charles felt a delicious tickling in his stomach. Oh, their will to live, he thought. To move forward. God, it made them fucking hate each other. Everything around them was blistering inconvenience. The thoughtless pedestrians, the arrogant cyclists, the hazard light double parkers filling every right lane, the galling prospect that no one knew how to make a left turn correctly, and the inconceivable fact that the yellow lights had some kind of abstract meaning that no one could agree on, forcing everyone to wait light after light after light after light. Charles pictured their anger as water. Lake ripples shoved forward by the wind until they soared into ocean swells, rising against the floodgates of their minds, the pestilent thoughts swirling and crashing at the lip. The ugliness of their sentiments mixed with the car exhaust, the cloud of buzzing agitation corralled and pent up behind the horrible power of a red light. All they needed was an excuse. Just the tiniest ingratiating gravity to tear down their defenses and send their rage crashing through. So Charles smiled. It was time. He slid his hand down the armrest and fiddled with the joystick. His wheelchair rolled into the crosswalk, rumbling and bumping this way and that over potholes and bits of trash. He kept the joystick pressed down, the chair moving him into the center of street where 3 lanes of cars threatened to burst forward through the change of the light, and there, he stopped. The light turned green. Horns blasted as drivers punched them down, impatient bubble boiling over and spilling into curses. Asshole! It was beautiful. Fucking retard! Divine. You crippled piece of shit! Worthy to be slaughtered, Charles thought. He fucking dared them to try. The hateful euphony crested around him. He stayed his position and urged them on. He knew they wanted it. Their vitriol was everywhere. But which movement, which sound would be the harbinger of his death? He perked his ear to the rhythms. Would it be from that truck swerving out of his way, the jerk and movement causing the engine to roar and the tires to grip the road with a punctuated squeak? Or would it come from the man whose hand smacked the roof of his car in clamorous bangs? Or would it be from that lady thrusting her head out of the window to scream, "God damn it, I gotta pick up my kids, motherfucker!" Or was it hidden somewhere else, deep within the broken chorus of curses and commands and cries and horns? They were zeroing in on him now. The pedestrians, the bicyclists, the drivers, the workers, the standers, the sidewalk sitters, the vagabonds peeking their heads out of their tents that lined the freeway. He was the center of everything now. All eyes and thoughts and fears and resentments were all on him. They were his. He moved his slow and shaky hand to the recliner switch. He pushed it and leaned back, relaxing into their fury, looking up at the blue sky, the cumulus clouds drifting across it, the summer sun shearing through them like knives, the blades of light shining on his smiling face. He waited. Tiny prayers for personal Armageddon seething through his lips. "I'm ready," he said. "Take me now," he screamed. But the horns began to dissipate. The yelling calmed, the anger draining from it like water through a sieve. The cars and trucks and motorcycles and bicycles parted ways around him. A few odd curses and pieces of trash pelted him as they rolled away and left him behind. Charles ignored the growing quiet and kept waiting. He stared at the sky. It was all fluff and light and pretty colors. It was just an illusion, wasn't it? Just a fragile shield of atmosphere that temporarily protected them all from being sucked out into space. Ah!